Hello guys, and welcome back to another scenario of what if civilization started over. In the last episode, we saw the green team get annihilated by a bunch of countries such as the yellow team and the red team, and now it's a tiny state over here. We also saw this giant country come to be a giant country, and we're supposed to see this country come off in this part of Mexico over here. So now let's continue this scenario. Over here, we see in Cuba, we see them going into Florida, exploring around the area, eventually making it up into mainland America. And eventually explore and discover most of Florida. Well, I think this is all of Florida. And they're gonna get themselves a tiny colony over here. I wouldn't call this tiny, but it's a colony. They're gonna go up into here, and they're gonna take control of most of these areas along here, and eventually looking at this sort of a colony over here. Meanwhile, over here, we see a large group of travelers get stuck in the Amazon rainforest over here, I think it's called. And eventually, they just decide to set up civilization here for a bit. Not for long, because they are going to have to find somewhere better to live, because this is literally a jungle. But they do set up a sort of country. Yeah. Let's start it right here. We have a sort of country forming up here. But it's not really going to be for long, because they're going to explore downwards over here. They're going to go down here, continue downwards, and eventually make it downwards into here. This is going to be a better place to live. So this part is going to be completely abandoned for now. And the new state is going to form over here, in this area of the country. And now we're going to see more explorers go down here. We're going to see more explorers going down here looking for the old explorers. But they don't find anyone, just traces of their own civilization. So they eventually give up and assume they died somehow. Meanwhile, we see the slaves coming down here. And they're not really going to find much, that's obvious, really. It's going to explore down here, and they're going to report their findings to the king. There's nothing here, sir. So now we have a map that looks something like this. Anyways, we see the Californian. This is meant to be like Baja California. I don't really know. They're going to explore upwards into California up here, and they find this place to be a pretty nice place to live. So they're going to start expanding up there, but before they can, a country already formed up here. And they're going to be, being a country over here. And the Mexicans are like, well, we wanted to do that, but the Americans really don't care. They mean the Californians. Uh-oh. I did it on the wrong layer. Oopsie, says. We'll just delete that and put it on this layer. And there we go. We have an American country right here. The California. Why do I keep on calling it American? It's Californian. Ooh. I'm going to continue up here. And the Californians are now going to take care of this operation, because the Mexicans don't really want to help them after they took their land. Going to go over here, and they're going to take over this part of the island, and eventually meet up with this area. And the Californians are going to explore up here a bit, That's what anyone would do. They're going to explore up here, they're going to take over here, they're going to go into the island over here, going to connect up here, and there we go. We have a giant Californian country over here. Next, we're going to see the two countries over here. I mean, not really. Never mind. Mexico is going to explore up here. Going to reach these areas. And the Caribbean is also going to reach up here. So now they have like a giant area. I think this is the first type of contact the Caribbean has had with any of these countries. So it's kind of a surprise. Not really, because they originated from there, but it's a surprise for the Mexicans, at least. And as they head back, they see some people setting up their own civilization here. They're gonna become a nation. Become a nation over here. Boom. Please, oh God! See a nation pop up right here. They're going to be the newest nation over here. And we're going to see a start of something. The rush for the rest of America. Because they decided that America's really cool and they want to take control of everything. And the main contenders is going to be Mexico. Other Mexico. Guess I could just call this America. And the Caribbean. They're all racing. And California, in case I didn't say them. They're all racing to take over most of America. We're also going to see a newly independent light yellow country form right up here. And they're going to be kind of like Texas, kind of. But they're not the same. Yeah, they're going to take over all of these regions over here. And they're going to take most of this area. So now we have Texas here. Mexico is not wanting to get cut off today. So they're going to go past the Mexicans over here. They're going to expand outwards over here. So they're going to set up a sort of a colony over here. Going to ask for several demands from Texas in order for them to stay alive, which the Texans are very reluctant to do, but they have to do if they want to survive. So all of this is taken away from them in exchange for their life. I think it's a pretty good trade, to be honest. But anyway, the Texans aren't happy with this, and they're going to start a campaign upwards into this region, see what they can find. Travel, explore and explore, exploring a bit more. They also do some more exploring. And they eventually find the Great Lakes over here. The Texans know they can't really set up like a colony over there, so they decided to set up sort of a puppet state, which will be a lighter version, which will be a darker version of the Texans' colour. This is a puppet, okay guys? Just trust me on this one. And I keep on doing it in this stupid wrong layer. So this is what you would call a puppet state. The puppet state is going to have lots of autonomy and stuff, but it's going to be under rule by the Texans. So they're going to continue around the Great Lakes. They're going to discover most of the coasts around this part of the islands, these islands, and even explore up here a little bit. But their main interest is in this kind of area over here, this giant part of it. They want all of this for themselves, which is exactly what they're going to do, since there isn't exactly a contender over here. Or is there? Because we just got a new country, which will be this colour. And they're going to start over here. And they're going to be kind of well. Nobody kind of knows how they got here, but it's most likely just people coming over here when it's forming their own country. They're going to become a formidable size before stopping, which makes the Texans stay angry because they wanted so much land. But they're not going to do it much for now, since they'd have to get all their troops over here, which would take forever. So they could go all around here, take these area, and eventually get up to here. Fortunately, they can't get many of the parts they wanted because it's kind of taken over by that country, but you know, kind of we win in life. But over in here, we see these countries are going to expand downwards a little bit, you know, until a movement happens down here, forming a new, you could call this a Amazon country. Yeah, it's going to be the newest Amazon country, or the only Amazon country right now. They want to take control of all of the Amazon rainforest for themselves. And over the following months and weeks, they're going to see loads of exploration into the Amazon rainforest, spanning all the way out here, but stopping over here. It's free land for everyone to take. They even find this country down here, but don't think much of it. Ignore whatever this is. So yeah, the orange team, the Amazon team, is going to take over a bunch of this land. And, you know, they're going to eventually reach up to the coast, although I guess it's just like DLC at this point. They're going to take over all of this area. Even reach out over to here. They're going to claim all of this as theirs. Does it look something like this? A giant country spanning from all the way over here to there. It's going to be called the Amazonians for now. Over here, though, they're going to continue to expand through the Amazon. And eventually they're going to get down to here before they no longer consider it to be Amazonian. They don't consider it to be an Amazon rainforest anymore. They're going to claim all of these parts as themselves, and they're going to be called the Great Rainforest Empire, or the Great Amazon Empire. Boom! How do you like that? And this country down here is just like, what is going on? Because they're going to eventually meet up with this country. And now the world looks something like this. Very different to the last episode, which looked like that. Anyways, over here, we're going to see them exploration by the Mexicans, the green Mexicans over here. But the main things they're actually going to try to do is actually try and cut off the Mexicans over here. Not too much, not trying to make it obvious though, so it's going to go like this and then that. And when they questioned them about it, they just said they were trying to take some land and stuff. The Mexicans are gonna be mad, but they're not really gonna do anything because, you know, they don't want to. The Mexicans are gonna make a giant trade with the other Mexicans. They're gonna take all of this land, and in exchange, they get to take over all of this land over here. So I'd say that's a great trade-off. They're gonna go up here. It's like they're encircling Texas, which is exactly what they're trying to do. But the Texans see right through them, and they start exploring out here. And they continue to explore down there, and they start expanding outwards. Their main goal is to reach the puppet state and also to avoid the clutches of the Great Mexican Empire. Meanwhile, not much happens elsewhere, except for a bit more expansion. God damn it! Except for a bit more expansion by this country over here. So yeah, now there's going to be one more event in this video, which is going to be the exploration of a few more islands in this area. Money by the slaves and the Caribbean. And the islands are going to be split by the Caribbean and the slaves. The slaves are going to get this, 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 this. Oh, wait, never mind, they don't get all of that. The Caribbean is going to get this, 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 and this. Yay. The slaves are also just going to go down just a little bit until they meet up with the Amazons. And for the final event of this video, we're going to actually see, and never mind, we're not, because stupid adverts. So that's going to be it for this video. If you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, la.